Our student speaker today is Anvita Gattani. Anvita is a first-generation American student attending New York University Tisch and will be graduating in 2023 with a BFA in drama. Over the summer, she interned with Circle of Confusion, a management and production company, where she organized talent grids, wrote coverage, and created a pitch for the industry executives there. In addition to her internship and attending virtual and in-person Academy Gold Rising programs, she also created what she calls Goldie's Brainstorm and Hangs. So every Sunday, she planned and organized events all around Los Angeles for her fellow interns to create projects, collaborate, and network with each other. Anvita's ultimate goal is to act in and direct diverse human-centric stories and to create equitable spaces in which they can be produced. She's a dynamic young woman, and I have no doubt she will be a major force in this industry in no time. Please help me welcome to the stage our student speaker, Anvita Gattani.
Hi. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction and for having me. It is an honor and a dream come true to be here today. My name is Anvita Gattani. That's a sentence I've said approximately 1 to 25 times a day this summer, and when I tell people my name, I tend to get a lot of, huh? Say it again? There was once this writer named William Shakespeare, only true film bros know him, so don't feel bad, who had his character, Juliet, ask the question, what's in a name? Great question. Growing up, I dreamed of having a name like Emma, or Kate, or Nicole, because according to the stories I was exposed to, those were the names of beautiful, strong, intelligent girls. I treated my name, Anvita, like a tiny but fatal flaw that I just hoped that people would see past. And my name wasn't the only thing. As a first-generation American, when a classmate started making fun of my Indian lunches, vegetarian chicken nuggets became the staple. I wore uncomfortable clothes, brushed through my curls, which are cute, by the way, fought my parents on the correct pronunciation of English words, and learned to butcher my beautiful name so that people would at least address me when I was with them. I know what you're thinking, it's just a name, it's not that deep, bro. But your name is the first thing that you present yourself with. Before your passion, your personality, your interests, it is what you are identified by. And I was presenting myself day in and day out with insecurity and the idea that it was my job to convenience people rather than receive mutual respect from them. And that kind of mentality impacts everything you are, everything you do, and everything you think you can be. You want to know how I got into this program? I'll tell you. I told the Academy how much I slept through movies growing up. I am talking Batman, The Notebook, Star Wars, Bond, Titanic, you name it, I have slept through it all. Even as an eager child, I really struggled to identify with the characters that I saw on screen. I wasn't an Emma, or a Kate, or a Nicole, no matter how hard I tried to be. I was an Anvita, and it felt like film had no interest in Anvita, so why should I have an interest in film? All this changed when I watched the movie The Namesake for the first time. The story of an immigrant family from Calcutta learning to adjust to American society struck a chord within me in a way that no other piece of cinema had before. It was the first time that I felt like I wasn't reaching to meet a piece of cinema, but the characters met me where I was at. This experience illuminated for me the importance of representation and the power that cinema has. I began to fall deeply in love with acting. I was curious to how a crease in someone's forehead, or the glint of a tear in someone's eyes, or someone genuinely saying, I feel so alone right now, could connect an audience of strangers to them. I ran to do my school plays, began taking bi-weekly acting classes in the basement of a coffee shop, and by some miracle, landed myself at NYU Tisch, where I'm now pursuing acting and directing for screen and stage full-time. To love the complexities of my identity, but when I started to own the person I was, I began to own my name. In Hindi, Anvita means to bridge the gap. I've embraced this as my gifted destiny to use storytelling, the thing I love, to bridge the gaps between different communities. I believe in the power of authentic representation to bridge gaps and combat prejudice by breeding empathy. With all of the injustice in the world, I believe empathy is the way to create action towards equality that extends past performativity. I create films with a mission that no other child goes through what I've gone through, in thinking that film has no interest in me, and not being able to see the value that their unique body, brain, and experience have on screen and in our society. A couple of weeks ago, near the end of the Gold program, my grandpa passed, and I flew home to be with my family. At home, I found a letter that my grandpa had mailed to me from India when I was leaving for college. At the time of receiving the letter, I was 17 and immature, and I had skimmed the letter, briefly thanked my grandpa, and moved on with my life. But when he passed, I came back to read the letter, and one section stood out to me in particular. My grandpa wrote, "When faced with the unknown, many among us find it daunting and tend to stay in a comfort zone with a safety net. The whole family and I are extremely proud of you for being a strong-minded individual and deciding to chart your own path in life. It was not an easy decision for you, and I'm sure that along with others, you might have had your doubts too. But now that you have made this decision, never look back and never doubt your resolve." I have no idea how he knew that at this point in time, I would be struggling with so much doubt. Before starting this program, I was dealing with some of the worst anxiety that I've ever felt. I was facing rejection everywhere I looked and putting incredulous amounts of pressure on myself to change the world overnight, to be successful, and to make my parents' immigration to America to provide for me a life that they never had worth it. I think the experience of growing up seemingly forgotten by cinema, or when seen represented in one-dimensional light, can build within oneself a lot of mistrust in other people, in society, and in the entertainment industry itself. I started this program with confidence in myself as a queer Desi artist, but also the idea that I needed to fulfill my purpose of utilizing cinema to bridge the gaps between different communities all by myself, which made me feel incredibly lonely, having to chart a path for myself and by myself. I think a while back, I realized that I can't accomplish that goal alone, and now I've learned that I don't want to. And amongst the incredible speakers, panels, screenings, opportunities, and mentorship, the greatest gift that Gold has given me is all of you. I now know that I don't have to accomplish my goals alone. In this room with me, / on Zoom, potentially, are 99 of the most humble, kind, hardworking talents that I've ever met before. The questions you ask, the projects you create, and the way that you talk about your dreams is so inspiring. Before this summer, I could never have imagined that I'd meet a co-writer and someone I want to open a production company with. 10 best friends and 10 to 25 people who choose to hang out with me to create art every Sunday, no matter how late I send out the RSVP link. I also haven't sent it for this weekend, so I'll do that after. I have been able to replace anxiety, doubt, and loneliness with trust, community, and collaboration. I trust that if I need a couch to spend the night on, Maya and her cat Aurora will always take me in. I trust that if I need to consult anyone on a mental health story or to utilize magical realism, I can reach out to Jeremy. I trust that Sejal and Kira will always, without a doubt, have something kind to say to me if I'm feeling down. I trust that I can send any script to Amy or Ananya and get real, incredible feedback. I trust that Andile, Andrea, and Miracle will always be there to give the world's warmest hugs. I trust that for any project I am pursuing, Shubham will drop everything the night before his finals and cook palak paneer and paratha for me, just so we can go over a shot list. I trust that darling Aditi and I will be dreaming up stories together as creative soulmates for decades to come. I love you. And I trust that Blaine will be there to photograph it all. I am so excited about our our future together. I'm excited for us to achieve green seals on our film for sustainability. I'm excited for us to create ethical working standards for each other and prioritize the mental health of artists. I'm excited for us to create films that speak to us and represent hope for marginalized communities, to provide for future generations the films that we never had growing up. Thank you to the Academy Gold team and panelists and my internship for this life-changing experience. Thank you to my wonderful family, friends, teachers, and a special shout out to my grandpa. I would not be here without you. And thank you, Goldies. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your time, your energy, and your artistry. Thank you for taking me in and teaching me incredible things. And to all of my brown Goldies, a special shabash beta to you. You deserve it. This is our future. I've got your back, and I trust that you have mine. Thank you.
I told you.
There are tissues in the back of the auditorium if anyone needs them.